Yo guys, what is up? It is Gamer123ST here. Today we're gonna be talking about Mars, the 5th episode of our space series. And Mars is Earth's neighbor. It's 78 million kilometers away from us. That's really far. It's still our neighbor, of course. Now Venus is closer to Mars than it is. Venus is closer to Earth than Mars is close to Earth, because Venus is 42 million kilometers away from us, if you didn't know. And Mars obviously is 78 million kilometers away from us. But it's still our neighbor, because either way, they're both our neighbors. And scientists believe that life was once there on Mars because there's water everywhere. There was water everywhere on Mars. It's pretty much kind of a habitable climate now. Unlike Venus and Mercury, even though Mars is really close to us, it maintains a decent -20 to -60 degrees temperature. We'll be talking about that later, but Mars is the second smallest planet in the solar system with a diameter of 6,780 kilometers, and that is the hottest it gets on Mars, 20 degrees Celsius. The hottest Mars can get is 20 degrees Celsius. Now, if you're thinking that's ridiculous, well, don't blame it on me, because basically why is Mars is really cold. As you can see, the coldness, except the Mercury and Venus thing, it's a little bit switched up, but it would go from Venus, Mercury, Earth, Mars, and then it would just go in the order: Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. Just keeps on getting colder and colder. So that's one thing we should know for the future videos about Jupiter, Saturn, and all this stuff. And yeah, so it's the 4th hottest planet in our solar system. And next would be Jupiter, then Saturn, then Uranus and Neptune. So good about that. A year on Mars is 687 Earth days. I told you that in the solar system video. It's almost double an Earth year, so that's why it's orbiting the sun at 228 million kilometers away from it. And a day on Mars is 1 Earth day and 37 Earth minutes, or minutes, just say. That's how much is. And I gotta tell you about the thing in the photo here. It's the Mars rover from USA. I didn't inquire about it much, but I do know that it was a mission launched by USA. I'm pretty sure, and I don't know if it's doing service now, but it's there. It figured out that Mars is the red planet. It's nicknamed because it has iron oxide in its soil, and that's what makes it that red. And so, yeah, moving on. And yeah, if you thought the Earth was slow, Mars is getting even slower. As you know, Mercury started up with 180,000 kilometers per hour around the sun. No, per second, sorry. And per hour. And then Venus made it 126,000, Earth made it 110,000, and now Mars is making it 86,000. So we're going slower and slower. As you can see, that's going to be something as we go along with the other videos. And it is the 4th planet from the sun, of course. It has 2 moons called Phobos and Deimos. Now, or Deimos, or whatever. Phobos has a diameter of 22.533 kilometers, and it's really small. And it's so Deimos with a diameter of 12.4 kilometers. Okay, so Phobos is a diameter of 22 kilometers, and Deimos with a diameter of 12. So that means Phobos is nearly twice as bigger than Deimos. And another good fact: Phobos takes 8 hours to make 1 circle around Mars. So let's just say it's a day on Mars. It's a good day, which means Phobos already made 3 circles around Mars. And whether Deimos, it would take 30 hours, which means, let's say it's 6 a.m. today, and I wake up, and then 6 a.m. tomorrow, and then I wait till 12 a.m. tomorrow, then Deimos would have made a full circle around Mars. We humans here on Earth always send missions to Mars. Mars is the humans that have sent the most missions to. Mars has a radius of 3,389.5 kilometers, and its radius. All right, so yeah, so the radius is 3,389.5 kilometers. It also has a tilt of axis. If you don't know what an axis tilt is, I'm pretty sure I remember explaining a little bit about it in the Earth video. It has a 25-degree tilt of axis. And with that 25-degree tilt of axis, it's really small because it's like in the normal zone compared to Mercury or Jupiter. Like, they have really small stuff. And then you go Venus and Uranus, they're like too much. And there's Saturn, Mercury, Earth, and Neptune, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Neptune, they're all like between the range of like 23 and 27. Anyway, 23.5 degrees is, 23.5 degrees is Earth's and 25 is Mars's. So, moving on, this is the mission that India sent. It is MOM, the Mangalyaan. They sent it in September 4th, I'm pretty sure, 2014. And it's also a really good mission they sent to orbit Mars and figure out a lot more about it. Some made by Israel, the Indian organization, something Indian Space Research Organization. Yeah, the Indian Space Research Organization. They sent the MOM, the Mangalyaan mission, to the Mars, and yeah, they did that. And also, let's get into a little more facts here. Mars does not have too much gravity here. If you weigh 100 pounds, let's say if you weigh 100 pounds on Earth, you'd only weigh 38 pounds on Mars, which is like really cool, of course. So let's say you weigh 100 pounds and you weigh 38 pounds on Mars all of a sudden, because you're light, because there's no gravity. It's due something to the gravity. You all know space doesn't have that much gravity. And you go into like bigger planets like Mars and Jupiter and Saturn. They all have lots of, not Mars, but like Jupiter, Saturn and stuff. They got real big gravities, but like we're talking about Mars here. Mars does not have that much gravity. And Mars is also really light. It weighs 62 sextillion kgs, which is really heavy. Sextillion kgs, which means a million, then a billion, then a trillion, then quadrillion, then quintillion, then we get sextillion. And why am I saying it's so light? Because it's so light compared to Earth's 5,972 sextillion kgs. It would be really light, obviously. So just taking that into mind, it is really light, obviously. And as you can see, Mars has a lot of craters here. And some of those craters are like kind of like mountains kind of stuff. And yeah, so they have a lot of mountains in like the solar system. So if Mount Everest is 8.8 kilometers tall, but Mars is way more taller mountain. For example, Olympus Mons is 21.1 kilometers tall, almost 3 times more than Mount Everest. So like, let's just say that big crater all the way on that far side is Mount Everest. All this bigger crater on the side is Olympus Mons, because those craters are like 3 times with the distance. So yeah, that's like a really big difference if you're saying Olympus Mons and whatever, Olympus Mons and Mount Everest. It's gonna be a huge difference between those two, because like there's a whole story about like having Olympus Mons here and Mount Everest. If they're like really beside each other, Mount Everest is gonna feel like it's some kind of small dense piece of dust or something, because Olympus Mons is just gonna be 3 more Mount Everests extended on top. Of course not fully, because it's only 21.1 kilometers tall, but sure, why not? It's like a whole Olympus Mons, and it would take 6 Mars to fill the volume of Earth. And like, yeah, so the volume of Earth would take 6 Marses. So if you take 1 Earth volume, for example, it'll take 6 Marses to fill that. Alright, next photo. We have this photo of Mars original, and this is Mars. It's the red planet, and as you can see, if you would dig deeper inside Mars, I'm pretty sure the Mars rover found that out. They saw that it has iron oxide mixed inside of its soil. That's how you find it out. It's pretty cool, like straight up here, and yeah. So Earth's atmosphere is also 100 times denser than Mars. And just one small fact here, Mars is a great planet. It looks very nice for people who like red like me. I really like red. And this is what I learned about Mars. It might be smaller than Earth, but it sure does have a lot of cool facts to learn about it, like I'm teaching y'all in this video. So don't forget to like it. Drop a like for the video. And don't forget to subscribe. And yes, so there's going to be more facts about Mars. But I am saying that Mars is a great planet. All y'all, it's really good. And I don't remember a lot about this, but I'm pretty sure the surface pressure is 0.636, 0.4 brackets 0.87 kPa, 0.062 something atom. Okay, so that's the surface pressure. And you might be thinking, what the hell is going on here? If I told you this, but the surface area of Mars is 144.8 million kilometers. Now, like, okay, you're like, you told me that this thing was not even 7,000 kilometers in diameter, and you're telling me that its surface area all of a sudden is that big? Well, yeah, because think of it. If we have so many, like, just saying like the distance from or Ottawa to Toronto in Canada, that's 1,000 kilometers. So just imagine how big the Earth would be and how big its land would be. And you all know that the surface area of Russia, the biggest country, is 17 million kilometers. So that's what I mean. If you took a Russia, let's say, and you fitted it, let's say 17 into 3. So 17 times 3 would be 51. So if you take that 51 and you fit it in like 51 million kilometers, then you have that. So then you times it by 2, which would be 6 Russias. That's 102. Then you take another Russia, 118 million kilometers. So now your final job is to take 2 Russias, 35 million kilometers. So that would be 9 Russias in total, and then 118. So that would be 148 million kilometers. Wait, no, 153 million kilometers, which is gonna fill up the whole Mars planet. So or whatever. Yeah. So it's gonna take full on Mars, and it's gonna fill it up. So that's what surface area means. So Mars is also, if like people down there from USA, Mars orbits the sun at 142 million miles. If you guys don't use like kilometers as your measurement, then yeah, there you go. There's your answer. And so yeah, just say there's your answer for Mars. And also, one more thing. Even though Mars is 78 million kilometers, it is really big, and even though it's really small, it is really big. If it's really small, it holds a lot of stuff, like Olympus Mons, the Arabia Terra, Cydonia, Tharus Montes, Thracis. These are all like many craters at different places in like the place of Mars. And yeah, and also like talking about like, what are they, Phobos and Deimos, they're also pretty small, but let's just say it's bigger. And I also want to talk to you about the International Space Station a little bit. it's like it has many parts too. I don't remember all of them. I can tell you about the Dixel thing. I was pretty sure it was like part of like the mechanical part of whatever the terms were to do that. Next picture, and there's the Canadarm2 used like to fix up other stuff in the stuff of Mars, like no Mars, the International Space Station. So yeah, that's that. And there's many like programs also, like the Mariner program, Mars, ExoMars, also from Mars, Mars Sample Remission, and also the Viking program. These are all projects on Mars. And I switch to the next photo, you can see in this photo, it got a lot of craters because Mars is also very known. Just as all the way back I told you in Mercury video that Mars had many craters. And that is really true because Mars has so many craters for you to see. And if you were wondering what Mars is made out of, Mars is made out of soft rocks, unlike Earth. It's made out of iron, magnesium, oxygen, and silicone. A 3D rendering of the surface of Mars is pretty big. Like if you looked at it in 3D, like some kind of 3D software or something, it would be really big. And if you were asking me if Mars is hot or cold because it looks like it's red, it looks like it's probably boiling with heat, well, let's say it. Mars is overall cold. Its average global temperature is around minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and it has much thinner atmosphere than Earth because it has about a sixth of the pressure of the Earth's atmosphere. So that's what I meant, it's sixth of the volume, for 6 Mars volumes to fill up one of Earth's volume. Because it has about a sixth of the pressure of the Earth's atmosphere, the planet doesn't retain heat very long, causing temperatures to drop quickly, I'm pretty sure. And another question, can we breathe air on Mars? Without a pressure suit, no amount of breathable oxygen delivered by any means will sustain oxygen breathing for life than more than a few minutes. Concentrations of 7% to 10% may cause suffocation, even in the presence of sufficient oxygen. And yes. And can you live on Mars? Human survival on Mars would require artificial living on Mars, habitats with complex life support systems. One key aspect of this would be water processing and systems being mainly made of water, of course. And a human being would die a matter of days without it, because like obviously that. And by 2060, NASA is planning to send a lot of people to Mars. And I recently went to, a long time ago, I went to Kennedy Space Center. I figured out that, I don't know if it was 2022 or so, Mars, people were sending, NASA was sending people to Mars from the Kennedy Space Center. 6 people, I'm pretty sure. They were going straight to Mars. And yeah. And also another fun fact, Mars is named after the Roman god of war. And as you can see that Mars has a lot of not Mars individually, but it's all the planets are just showing that they're all named after the Roman gods, knowing how ancient they were. And there's also a big crater known as the Korolev crater, I'm pretty sure. It shows it's 1.9 kilometers big, deep, and it's 1.2 miles deep. It's water, ice kind of crater filled with that kind of stuff. And moving on to this picture, again, Mars is filled with craters. So that's one more thing I'm trying to tell you. Mars is a piece full of craters, and also its rotational axis are pretty similar to that of Earth's. And Mars has been explored by numerous unnamed spacecraft, like the Mariner 4, launched by NASA on November 28, 1964. The first spacecraft to visit Mars, making its closest approach on 1965, the Mariner 4 detected the weak marination radiation belt, that of 0.1% that of Earth's radiation belt, 0.1 that of Earth's. And its average orbital speed per second is 24.7 kilometers per second. Yes, so it's the second smallest planet in the solar system. Just like a quick review, the second smallest planet in the solar system. It is really big. Really small. It's 228 million kilometers away from the sun, and it's the place where we've sent many missions to. It's a place full of craters, if you come to the way of craters. And if you want to be really precise, it's 1.52 AU, a new fact, like 1.52 AU, astronomical unit. I told you that 1 AU is Earth. 1 AU means 150 million kilometers away from the sun. If you didn't hear it in Earth, if you didn't see the Earth video, go watch it. It's on my channel page. And, well, yeah, that's 1 AU, that means. And Mars is 1.52 AU. You later get into like bigger planets, and they're gonna make more AUs, which is astronomical units. And yes, so this is the Mars video, and there's so many facts about Mars. So thanks guys for watching. If you made it all the way here, don't forget to drop a like on that video. Make it blue. Make that like button fully glittered up with the blue stuff. And don't forget to comment down below if you learned a lot about Mars in this video. And also comment down below how everybody's doing in quarantine these days because of COVID-19. And you should also share this video with all your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel Gamer123ST. I'm Gamer123ST. This is Mars, the 5th part of our space series, and I hope you guys all loved this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. To Gamer123ST, sign off for now. Peace. Have a good day, everybody.